What's the biggest lesson you can learn from Tony Robbins' business?
How'd you do that?
I see that success is not something you pursue. It is something you are.
Let's face it, Tony Robbins is dominating the speaking industry, but how is he doing it? How did he build his business? The biggest lesson you can learn is that Tony Robbins built his speaking business in a way that other people can't copy him. A long time ago, back in the dinosaur ages, Tony Robbins, he basically had an infomercial, and from that infomercial, he got big time. What happened was these other people put up almost all the money for the infomercial, and they split the profits like 93%, 7% to Tony, 93% to them. And even though Tony didn't have the money at the time, I mean, he was selling the stuff in the infomercials and they were making all the profits. He was making very little. He had a celebrity name at the time. And from that celebrity name, he then built his massive seminar empire. Nowadays, you can't really duplicate what he did because number one, infomercials cost a gang load of money right now. Two, I mean, he had other people put up the money for him. So maybe you don't have someone who can put up all that money for you. So at the time, NLP was just becoming pretty popular at the time. So he also tapped into that new thing that was coming out. What Tony Robbins did is he essentially built his own category. I mean, he wasn't just a speaker, he literally built his own industry. And the biggest lesson you need to take away is that you should be building your business in a way that other speakers can't copy you. Now, of course, Tony Robbins, he did work his ass off. There's no doubt in my mind that Tony Robbins worked more in 1 year than most speakers work in their entire lives. I mean, I'm pretty sure he worked like crazy, nonstop. And just because he built his business in a way that can't be done doesn't mean you shouldn't give him credit for building his business that way. In fact, if anything, you should give him even more credit because by building a business in a way that other speakers can't do it, I mean, that's just freaking brilliant. What you need to ask yourself is, how do I build a speaking business in a way that other people can't duplicate it?